So according to EA, we should be expecting a really good game coming up in a couple of months. And there's a ton of news regarding licensing as well for FC26. So in this video, I'm going to be covering all the recent news regarding FC26. Just before I start, I want to say hello to all the new subscribers that have come over from Sander's channel recently after he gave me a shout out in his last video. So I just want to say thank you to him for that shout out. It's really helped push this channel along in the last couple of days. If you are new to the channel and you haven't seen all my other videos, go ahead and check those out. There's a lot of work put into them about ideas for FC26 and covering some of the other news that's come out in the past. So if you want to know more about the game, there's stuff there as well. And going forward, I've got loads more ideas regarding videos to make. So stick around, there's going to be more stuff coming very soon. But in terms of the news for FC26, let's start with this interview with EA producer Sam Rivera. Now, his comment regarding FC26 was that we've never listened to the community this much. Everything they asked for was a priority. Playing FC26 and then going back to FC25, the difference is huge. I've never seen such a big leap between games. Now, there's a few things to make from this comment. First of all, I know he says there's a massive leap between the games. Everyone's seeing this as just a classic thing that EA say every year to promote the game. Who's saying that they mean a leap in the right direction? They could mean the biggest leap backwards we've ever seen. Who knows? Because the last couple of years, regarding the gameplay at least, have been pretty shambolic, to be fair. If they have actually been looking at what the community wants, then fair enough, but I'm also questioning, has that not been a tactic in the past from EA? Like, are you admitting that that's something that you've changed for this game? That seems like a weird thing to make. With that being said, we're just going to have to see in the reveal whether they are going to give us a load of features that their community have asked for. But something to back up this point, to be fair to EA, is a recent survey that they allowed the community to make. So this was specifically for career mode. You scanned your barcode and you filled out a quick 5-minute survey. It generally just asked like what areas of the game that you enjoyed the most and the things that you like, that you dislike about them. It wasn't too in-depth, but I think they were just trying to get an idea of what mattered most to the people about the game mode, and that kind of makes sense as like an avenue to prioritize the most in the mode. Now, you would hope that people would already know this within EA, people who know football or who are fans of the game themselves. But if they have to ask the community, we can't have a go at them for that. At the end of the day, all they can do is ask the question. I get multiple messages asking like if I can message EA about certain features and to add certain things. Me, along with, I'm going to assume majority of the people making content around FC26 don't have any contact with EA. So all we can do is push our ideas out there and hope that someone from EA sees it, but there's absolutely no guarantee, and I've got no indication to believe that they've seen any of my content. So all we can do is fill out this form. It only takes a couple of minutes, and I myself have tried to put as much in as I can within the questions that they asked, as you can see here. I am happy though that they did this survey specifically for career mode fans, because I think one of the issues that has come from EA's decisions is trying to please both the offline and the online community. Both sides want completely different things. If the offline community are happy with the gameplay, the online community probably aren't, and then it gets changed. So I feel like they need to make two completely different styled games in one franchise. Because realistically, for example with gameplay, which they didn't really ask about in the form, but it's way more important, I think, for the offline community. Let me just talk about this new story to back up my point. This is more regarding Ultimate Team, but there's a bunch of icons and heroes being announced for the new game. Kind of symbolizes this. Like, for me, I don't get when people are so frustrated with the game, how then when EA release all these new cards, people all of a sudden get excited and they hype the game up and they play the game. I don't understand really why this matters so much. But let's just cover, for the sake of nostalgia, which players are going to be in the game. So in terms of the icons, Ibrahimovic, Morgan, Khan, Sissi, Cruz, Iniesta, Marcelo, Chiellini, Serga, Char, Totti and Jones, they're all going to be in the game as per FGZ here, and this has been reported in multiple different places, to be fair, so it looks like this is relatively solid. But of course we've got some recently retired players here like Ibra, Cruz, Iniesta, Marcelo and Chiellini, only a matter of time before they got added to the game. In terms of heroes, we've got Gilberto Silva, Fellaini, Fabregas, Cambiasso, Carrick, Koller, Barzagli and Mandzukic. Now, I don't understand who can categorise Fellaini in the same bracket as Fabregas and Carrick, but it is what it is. So for anyone who's interested in that kind of thing, these players should be in Ultimate Team next year. Will they be in career mode? Will this really affect career mode? I don't know. We'll maybe get the chance to play with them in play career mode for like 1 month, but that's about it. Now, going on to some more news regarding licensing, there's constant news regarding the Brazilian League. Now, there's been mixed reports regarding this, so I just want to put some clarity on that. Now, it's all over social media that EA are trying to obtain some licenses in Brazil regarding the Serie A and also the national team. But there's been some posts out there saying that the full league is going to come to the game, and I just want to put it out there that that is more than likely not going to be the case. I've previously spoke about in one of my older videos that they're trying to obtain a license that has 12 Brazilian clubs within it. That seems to still be the case, and it seems like, from what we're hearing, this isn't going to be ready for launch if they get an agreement here between them and this license. Although there is going to be a change regarding this license, and potentially a return of the full Brazilian league could be a lot easier come 2027, when there is going to be some more changes, where I believe there might be a full package that you can get all of these teams and players in. I'm not too sure on that side of things, but that's what we're kind of hearing. But yeah, the Brazilian national team is also one that they're trying to get back into the game. So let's just see, but it's only going to take the national team count from 29 to 30. So I think EA need to do a lot more than that. But I just wanted to clarify that, yeah, regarding the Brazilian league, it will only be 12 teams, and chances are it will probably be in the rest of the world section. Whether they're going to try and obtain some extra licenses for one or two of the other clubs, because the likes of Flamengo and Palmeiras aren't included in that license. So EA might have to do a little bit more work there. Also, some more rumours that are emerging is that the Chilean league is also potentially coming to FC26. Now, there's already half a dozen Chilean teams in the game, so this wouldn't be like a major addition. But we'll take any 4 leagues that we can. And there was that rumour that there was going to be a bigger search for licenses geographically from EA, and we're starting to see now with the rumours that they're definitely looking more towards the Americas in terms of obtaining licenses. Of course, all the rumours around the Liga MX won't go away. They've parted ways with Konami, and now it looks like EA will be bringing that league back into the game. It shouldn't be too hard for them to reach an agreement, but we're going to find out in the next couple of months from EA officially when they do strike a deal for any of these new leagues. Now, regarding new stadiums, this thread from Infinity FC is very helpful in giving us some rumoured stadiums that we can expect in the next game. So, of course, the Allianz Arena should come back to FC26, considering their deal with Konami has run out, so that stadium won't be in eFootball anymore. So similar to the Liga MX, that should be coming to EA and should be quite easy for them to get that back into the game. On the flip side, though, the Borussia Dortmund have agreed with Konami to be licensed in eFootball, so that means that their stadium is going to move over to that game and won't be in FC26. But of course, Everton's new stadium, that should be in the game if EA can create it quick enough. Apparently now they can create stadiums a lot quicker using AI, so there shouldn't be any excuses of the stadium being released later in the game cycle like they have in the past with the likes of Luton and Nottingham Forest. The Stadio Diego Armando Maradona Stadium for Napoli, that should be coming into the game. We've got the Stadio Olimpico for AS Roma, so we're getting a couple in Italy here. There is also a couple of Turkish stadiums potentially coming to the game. So Besiktas and Trabzonspor are included here for their stadiums. Now, over in Spain, Malaga's promotion to La Liga could see the Estadio La Rosaleda come into the game, along with the Estadio Riazor, which is the stadium of Deportivo. And to conclude the Spanish clubs, Real Oviedo also have been promoted to the La Liga, so that should see their stadium come into the game. Now, a couple in Germany, so the Holsten Stadium, where Holsten Kiel play, despite them getting relegated, their stadium should have already been in the game, so that should come in FC26. Along with Heidenheim Stadium as well, that's expected to make its debut in FC26. Now, with the potential return of the Liga MX, that could include the Estadio Azteca, which has been previously in the game when the Liga MX was in the game. Also, Tigres Stadium, the Estadio Universitario, again with the Liga MX, could make a return. The Puskas Arena is where the next Champions League final is going to be held, so that could give an incentive for EA to add this stadium into the game. Another German stadium here, which is for SV Darmstadt, their Merck Stadium, could potentially appear in the game. And finally, we've got one which Infinity FC admits could be a long shot, but the Olival Stadion. The Women's Champions League is going to be held in this stadium next season, so again, it could be one that EA are incentivized to add into the game. There's also rumours that the Birmingham City Stadium is going to be added into FC26. Now, I can understand this one, kind of like when Wrexham got added into the game when they were in the National League. It feels like the branding side of things, this would be the sort of stadium that EA would add into the game. Also, they have started to add in championship stadiums. For example, Coventry and Bristol City got their stadiums added into the game recently without getting promoted to the Premier League. So this is definitely more than realistic. This is more than likely, in my opinion. If there's an English stadium that's going to get added into the game, I do think it will be St Andrews. But for sure, more stadiums from the EFL would be brilliant. There's some other great ones that EA should certainly consider adding into the game. For example, Derby County's Pride Park and Preston North End's Deepdale. Those are two that I would like to see in the game as well. Now, regarding the 2026 World Cup, these rumours will not go away about EA still potentially reaching an agreement to license this tournament in FC26. FGZ reports here that EA is still trying to get the license for the FIFA World Cup 2026 for FC26. This would include a separate game mode, collaboration with Ultimate Team and promos. Also, Infinity FC reported a quote from EA's CEO that called the tournament a major acquisition opportunity and the next defining moment for the FC franchise. So for me, it sounds like this license is going to be available next year, so it might be one that EA pick up just on a one-off basis. I don't think this will be a return of the name FIFA 26 or FIFA 27 or whatever. I can't see that. I think EA just want to put this World Cup mode in the game for the sake of selling more games this year. Now, people might look at this as some really good news. For me personally, I'm looking at this as bad news. This basically means that there is next to no chance that there's going to be a FIFA 2K game next year. Now, I thought it was always going to be a long shot. Developing a new football game takes a long time, and I thought 2026 would have been very, very soon. If there's any chance that EA could get this license back, it basically means that there's going to be no FIFA 2K game next year. So I'm sorry to be negative regarding that. I think that game could still come in the future. I think realistically 2030 might be a realistic opportunity for them. I think next year you can pretty much rule out that game. But yeah, that's all the news I've got so far to cover in this video. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit a like button. It will help support this channel and help it grow going forwards. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, because there's a chance if you leave the video, you might never see this channel ever again. And of course, I recommend watching all my other videos. I've got a lot of content around FC26 on my channel already, and there's a lot more to come as well. And finally, in the comments, let me know what you think about the video, and also which of these leaks excite you the most. Which ones do you think are going to come true? Which ones maybe you don't believe in? Let me know any opinions that you got in the comments, and I'll try my best to reply to as many as I can. But yeah, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.